Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Lagged Podcast. I am your host, Joseph Hamilton. To my right, I have my co-host, Ethan Hansen.
Hello.
To my left, I have my other co-host, Thomas Strangman.
Yep.
And to my farther left, I have my other co-host, Nathan Christian.
What's up?
Behind the camera with us today is our good friend, Alex Nelson.
Nelly, give it up.
Nelly,
Come on.
everybody.
Come
Behind the camera,
on.
taking the camera. And we also have two other co-hosts and people who work behind the camera who are not available with us today, but they will be on other podcasts, either on camera, behind the camera, whatever it is. But
Never know.
otherwise, we're just going to have a nice general chat. This is episode 1. We're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to have you, the audience, get acclimated with us, the hosts. And with that, I'd like to start with our first topic. First thing that was kind of coming to mind when I was like, let's have a podcast.
All right.
Spring. 4 seasons, right? We got 4 seasons. We got spring, summer, fall, and winter.
You got him.
Spring. We're in spring right now. Spring
Spring's a
sucks.
rough
Flat out, spring sucks. Spring sucks.
It's brutal out
It's
there.
brutal. It's brutal out there. The pollen is killing me right now.
All right. Here's
5
the deal.
sneezes in a row is brutal.
Dude, it's
Telling you.
so rough.
Here's the
It's so
deal.
rough.
You're inside, right? You think to yourself, okay, I've been inside too long. Like me personally, I don't get a lot of sun. I'm normally inside,
Yep.
kind of a basement dweller. So when I step foot outside, it's kind of my skin kind of boils up. When I
Right.
tell you, when we hit the spring season, I step outside, I swear to Jesus Lord Christ, I start just sniffling right away.
Right
Literally,
away.
I'm
Right
outside and I'm going,
Dude, and you do like Zyrtec and everything. It doesn't work.
the drugs don't cut it.
Drugs don't work.
The
Drugs
dr-
don't cut it.
Drugs don't cut it, kids.
Claritin
I'm sorry.
doesn't cut it.
Claritin doesn't cut
No.
it. Zyrtec doesn't cut
My
it.
grandmother, every time we talk on the phone, it's like, Thomas, the Zyrtec's not working. I'm still sneezing like a
The eye drops,
train.
the
nasal
nasal
spray.
The nasal spray,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
dude, the
awful.
nasal spray.
It's rough. It's rough out here.
The pollen is just like, it gets in your eyes.
You
It
ever
gets
see
everywhere.
videos of when they like sandblast those trees?
Yeah, and all the
And they
pollen
blow
comes
the-
out.
it's
Yeah,
just-
dude.
It's a sheet. It's like a blanket.
Yeah, dude, it's a blanket.
Holy
like, if you
God.
walked through there, you just die instantly.
See
You're just like gone.
the snowstorm? The snowstorm that's
Yeah.
really just pollen.
Pollen.
Just pollen, dude.
Bathe in that
Pollen,
idea, yeah.
pollen is the enemy. Enemy is
How
spring.
much money?
Gets on
to
your
bathe
car too. It gets on.
It gets on your car.
How
It gets on
much
your
money
car.
for somebody to go bathe in that?
Oh man.
Like
That's-
seriously,
dude,
to
honestly.
just nosedive.
Well, like some
Into
people are lucky.
pollen.
They don't get the spring allergies, but like us four in this
Those
case,
people they gotta send to Ukraine. Like those are the kind of people they gotta go over. I'm sorry. If,
yeah,
if you don't have a pollen
the
allergy,
ultra strong.
if you're not lactose intolerant or don't have a pollen allergy, go to Ukraine. Like they need you. I'm sorry.
They need some real army help. Out
Those are
there.
soldiers.
Those
Those
are
my-
real
They
soldiers.
really got that.
That's right.
Yeah.
They got
no.
that dog in them.
But no, pollen's rough,
It's so
and like spring's worst season. Can we agree with that? Like spring's worst season.
Probably.
Yeah,
Early spring.
Here's the
early
thing about
spring.
but the thing about winter though is the shoveling. Like it's great when you're playing in the snow.
I think it's like therapeutic to shovel the snow.
Not really.
Yeah,
No,
If
I'm
it's
a
like wet
fan.
and heavy, you know.
All right, that
What?
I meant like the regular stuff, like the regular like coating, I guess.
Wet and
whatever
heavy
you call it.
snow.
Yeah, no.
That's
If you have like the
rough.
slush
That's
and
the rough
stuff, yeah, no.
You know, you gotta
I
It's
don't
never
know,
good
man.
when it's wet and heavy.
throw it out your back and
You know.
Yeah,
But
no. I think spring's worst season. But
Probably.
yeah, I think every season has drawback, but spring's the one that just hits hard. Like
Yeah,
all the other
yeah.
seasons are building up to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In,
Yep.
in terms of its like stupidity and agitation.
Right.
Like winter is like the softball pitch, and then just spring's the
Yeah.
fastball, whips it.
Yeah.
So you literally 5 seconds, all the insects are all over you.
Yeah,
The wasps are
pollen,
coming
the
out.
wasps
Like,
coming out.
wasps,
They're
the
flying
wasps
around. It's
And like people make the
stinging
argument.
people in the thigh.
Yeah,
What's
like
up with
people make
I
the
swear.
argument that it's like a beautiful thing because all the flowers are coming out and the leaves. I'm dealing with the
That's
pollen.
Macy's propaganda.
Yeah, that,
I'll-
that,
I'll
you
who
know.
look at the
needs
flowers
that, dude?
from inside my house because I can't
Yeah.
go outside without dying.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
my respiratory system just says
Yeah.
no.
The flowers say take the L. You step outside, you're just done.
Yeah, and we're on the East Coast, so we get like the brunt of every season.
And we get static electricity.
we get static
static
You
electricity.
touch a doorknob with static
The dry
electricity,
skin.
Yeah,
Home
like
Alone.
pops off, bro.
it's gone, explodes.
It's gone.
But yeah. So that's the thing that was
So-
grinding my gears.
So that grinds my gears pretty hard.
That grinds my gears. Pretty hard.
I'm trying to think of what else. Is there any other drawbacks? Any other seasons? Like
Well, summer's just hot.
Summer's hot.
But we're lucky again that we're on the East Coast, so we get the beach. But
Yeah, but still.
still,
But
like you get in your
you get
car, it's all
sunburned.
like hot and muggy and stuff.
Put your
And
seatbelt
wait.
on, you get burned.
I can add something else to spring real quick.
Okay.
It goes from like 45 degrees one day to 60 another. So you don't know what to
true,
wear. You
true.
have like wardrobe bisexuality. Like there's something going on with your wardrobe where it's just like totally off
It's like, do
kilter.
I wear shorts?
It's
Do I wear
wrong.
long pants?
It's like, what do I wear?
yeah. What,
You gotta
I'm,
have,
like,
a
fighting.
hard
What-
hoodie, you know.
Yeah, I'm fighting
You're
it.
fighting with your
It's bad,
closet.
it's
I'm
bad.
fighting between like jorts and a hoodie, and people
Shorts.
people must be like, he's unemployed. I go, yeah. It's just
Shorts
Jorts
and a
are
hoodie.
making a comeback. Jorts are making
Yeah,
a
dude.
comeback.
my
John
legs
Cena
my
wore-
legs
For
do
the
not
spring-
look sexy
the
in
spring
jorts.
season, jorts are making a comeback.
No.
We're all gonna be wearing
Absolutely.
jorts by the end of spring.
Absolutely, they already
Yeah.
are. They're on the come up
I
right
don't.
now.
They're on the
Nobody
come up,
here
they're
is
on the
gonna
come
wear
up.
jorts.
Dude, I'm not wearing jorts.
Dude,
can't.
I gotta tell you something. It's not jorts, but I went to school one time with ripped jeans, right? It was Jack Todd, and he goes, "Dude, you lose a bet." He saw me in the ripped jeans. It was over. I went home, tore those in half. Now I got jorts.
oh,
I
yeah.
gotta try them out.
Yeah.
It's just they don't do my legs justice. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
My legs look like I have an eating disorder, but I don't. But
Crackhead legs. With
Yeah,
the,
I know,
with the
it's-
upper body
It's
stripe.
awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
But,
Anyways,
you know, it's sad.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Spring bad. Summer's just really hot. You get in your car, you burn your hand on the
It's-
wheel, burn
No,
your hand
but
on the
it's nice 'cause
seatbelt.
you're
Oh my
fresh
God, you
out
know
of
what
school.
You know what though? That's true. You get out of school, but when you're at the beach, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
You
do
get
that as
you get in the car,
well. Mhm.
and it's the metal that gets your thigh. It
Oh.
catches
Oh,
you as you're getting
ooh,
in.
ooh.
It's just like it's a
Ooh.
final. It's like a final dig.
Yeah,
It's just that
yeah,
one
yeah.
last dig. It's like
Yeah.
you're irritable. You know, your mom's going through the change a
Mm.
little bit, so she's irritable. You have a grandfather to take care of. A beach
Yeah.
chair's bigger than
Yeah.
him. You're trying
Yeah, yeah.
to shove everything in the car.
Yeah.
The car's all hot.
Car's
and
all
heavy.
hot and heavy.
You're
the
trying to
windows
get
were up.
sand at everything.
Yeah.
Somebody's got like
Conditions,
the.
turn it
Yeah.
on.
It's
They're
really
brutal.
that middle
It's
class
brutal.
mental
It is-
breakdown.
It
It's
is. You ever
It's
see?
not
You ever
bad,
see
it's
the
rough.
women and they got their children? They like fully laying them down. It looks like they're putting their children to sleep, and they've got baby powder and they're just dousing on the feet. They're trying to get the sand. You ever see it? It's so
No, I've
bad.
never seen that before.
Oh my
It
God.
works, though.
The baby
It
powder
really
does work.
Baby powder works.
Baby powder does work. You got
It
that.
doesn't
That's,
get like the
that's the
little
takeaway
shiny
from the
flecks,
cast.
but
Baby
it,
powder
like,
works.
Baby powder works. You
Baby
guys
powder works.
wanna-
That's the takeaway.
Works
Baby
at
powder
anything.
works.
Like Trump said that you can inject the bleach. I'm telling you, you can take
He
the
said
baby
that?
powder. Yeah. And you can just rub that baby powder on. You can eat it. It's like aloe. It's like
It is-
aloe.
it is
Use
like-
aloe
yeah,
with
yeah.
anything. That's
Yeah.
something else.
Aloe.
So
Well,
you
yeah.
whip out your aloe bottles you haven't used in like 5 years. And it's a little expired.
Oh, you have like the aloe plants too, dude. You have the plants.
Buy 'em
You
at
can,
Walmart.
like
buy them at Walmart.
Shuck
Go
out
for Walmart.
the aloe.
Sponsored by. We're sponsored by
Walmart.
We're not sponsored by Walmart.
Walmart. Come on, we
Yeah,
want to
anyway.
sponsor though. Like if I
Walmart
could get a
sponsor
gift
us.
card,
That'd
that'd
be
be
really good.
great.
That'd be really
Or
good
a Home
sponsor.
Depot one.
Dude, Home Depot, we can like play like the theme in the beginning when we
Dun,
start up
dun,
the cast. Yeah,
dun,
exactly.
That'd
But
be hard.
Oh my God.
that,
that'd be
that,
great.
that would be so
That'd be
good.
great.
Really,
Fighting for
the
that
Home
Home
Depot.
Depot.
Home Depot sponsorship. That's the goal of the cast.
The kind
goal
of people in
podcast.
Home Depot just look a lot like those retired engineers or our
Yes,
physics
yeah.
teacher.
And it's always like a blue like striped shirt, and they got the jeans on.
And they're so happy. They're like,
It's a real Ron
welcome to
Swanson
Home
type.
Depot.
absolutely.
I'm like,
Very Ron
how
Swanson.
can you be that happy? You work at a department store.
Yeah, true.
You're like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah, they got the aprons on.
The
and
plywood's
stuff with
over
the-
there.
I mean,
The smell of the wood just makes the place so welcoming.
that is
Oh,
true.
God.
That
You go
is
in
true,
there
dude.
and
You
you
walk
just
in
You get
there,
lost at
get
Home
the
Depot.
fat
We
whiff
should
of
put
that
hide
wood.
and seek at
wood.
Home Depot.
That
We'll
would
do
be-
that for a
we're gonna
change.
do that.
Either a Costco or a Home Depot. Costco's another animal.
Costco's a different animal.
But
you can, like,
IKEA.
'cause you can like climb all the way up and stuff,
IKEA,
make a
dude.
house in there or whatever.
IKEA, bro.
Dude,
IKEA.
How long?
IKEA.
How long
Do
can
we have
you?
an IKEA around here?
There's one in like
Yeah,
Somerville or something.
You think we
Somerville,
could?
huh.
How long can we hide in IKEA realistically?
You could, because they have those like mini
You could have a
houses.
cast
Well, they
in
got-
there.
You don't
got
want
the
to pay
cameras,
taxes,
though,
guys,
obviously.
right? Do you want to pay any taxes or a mortgage? Live in IKEA. Just hide
Well, like
away.
I can't get the cameras though. You gotta dodge the cameras and stuff.
Go where they
And-
make the meatballs.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know where they make the IKEA meatballs? They sell them.
What?
Yeah.
Do you not know about this?
I don't know about
No, I
IKEA
know about it.
meatballs.
Yeah,
I
the
know
IKEA
about
meatballs are really good. It's like what I go there for.
Wait, you go to IKEA?
Yeah.
Where's there an IKEA?
I
He
don't
said
know.
Somerville. Is it in Somerville?
Yeah, Hummer. It's Hummer. Summer.
Hummerville.
Oh, you got me all screwed
Okay.
up.
Anyways,
Somerville. Somerville. I'm
IKEA,
from Mass.
okay.
I know what I'm talking about.
From Mass.
what is it about the IKEA meatballs?
I'm telling. It's those Swedish meatballs.
Are they Swedish?
meatballs. They're really
Swedish
good.
chefs back there cooking up the meatballs.
No,
yeah.
he
Your
is.
favorite Muppet. Go.
For a Muppet. Oh, That got the room
Wow,
silent.
you really stunned me on
Yeah,
that
dude, you
one.
really stunned me. You came in
Jesus,
came in
sudden.
hot with
That's
that
like
one.
asking
sudden.
somebody to do their ABCs
That was a
backwards,
curveball.
bro. That
Yeah,
takes
because
a second.
it takes a minute to think about
That
it.
was a real curve.
That was
Yeah,
a
dude,
hard
you
curve.
silenced the whole gang right now. What's your favorite Muppet?
I like the
Primitive,
two
bro.
old men that sit in the top of the theater.
Oh, the
What are they?
Oh, what are those guys'
Yeah.
names?
The Grumps, yeah.
Yeah, they're really.
Oh yeah,
grumpy
I
little,
got it. Big Bird. He's not a Muppet, but he's
um,
my favorite.
Statler
There you
and
go.
Waldorf, I think, is what it is. I think
No,
those are the
they,
two
they
old
just
guys.
know him as
What's
the
he
Grumps.
named?
That's what he said.
The Grumps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the
Grumps.
Grumps.
My favorites. Who's the? Was he a bald eagle? What's his face?
Oh wow.
Gonzo.
No, not
no,
Gonzo.
no,
I
I
know
know
Sam,
you're talking about.
Sam the Eagle.
Yeah.
Sam the
You know,
Eagle.
he actually looks like somebody.
Dude, he was a
I know,
cop.
too.
He was a cop in one of them too. He was like a full like detective
Bro was
FBI.
busting the cartels.
Dude, he
part
was busting
time.
the cartel. He's busting
That's
them.
my kind of man right there.
That was what was that? Muppets Most Wanted, dude. Goated movie. If you haven't seen Muppets Most Wanted,
We're gonna review it.
we're gonna review it.
We will
and
review
we're
it in
gonna-
the future.
We're gonna star in the
Critique
sequel.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. What's
yeah.
another good Muppet? What's another good Muppet to chat
you
chat
Muppet.
up about?
That's
Yeah,
what
what's
the British
another-
say that.
what's
You
another good
Muppet.
You Muppet. What's
You
another good
Muppet.
You Muppet.
Nay, you got a good Muppet. You got a Muppet fan. Who's your Muppet? Who's your Muppet that you taking?
frog.
I gotta
Kermit's
be
a cult
generic
classic.
and go
Yeah.
with Kermit.
Kermit. That's fair. That's
Spider-
fair.
Spider-Man's.
I'm kind of a Rolf fan.
Who is that?
That's the dog.
Dude.
The dog one
Oh.
that plays piano and stuff. I'm a big fan.
You know I can rock to is Animal, bro.
Oh, Animal.
Yeah.
The electric.
Really?
What's the
Yeah.
band called? The Electric Roll or something like that.
Yeah, the Electric
That is
Roll,
absolutely
yeah.
not what it
Electric
is.
Roll.
What is-
Animal
what is
did
the,
Animal
what is
did a
it?
drum battle with Dave Grohl. You ever see that?
I did see that.
Yeah, he
that
did.
was
It was
crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
Foo
yeah.
Fighters versus
Foo Fighters.
versus Animal, dude.
Fighters.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, which we'll get to music a little later,
Yeah,
but
we're gonna do music a little later.
and
We have a lot coming.
music
in
and
store.
movies, there's a lot coming
Stay
your
tuned.
way, you know.
Yeah.
You have the,
On
Scream 6
iHeartRadio.
review.
We do have a Scream 6 review. We have also a couple albums reviewed.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna be chatting up today in the podcast, but yeah. So
That'll be
Rolf,
Muppets.
some Muppets.
But
some
what's
Muppet
better,
show.
Muppets or Sesame Street?
Oh.
Muppets.
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 I-
Muppets.
I
clear.
think
Muppet Sesame Street.
I don't know.
Clears.
Sesame Street's a classic though, because that was like you
Dude,
come home
Big
from
Bird-
daycare.
Big Bird used to scare me. I always would
Big
go
Bird
to
scared
bed,
me.
and I
Big Bird
swear to God, I'd be like this in bed.
You'd be all like huddled
hiding,
up,
I'd be
thinking
hiding.
Big Bird's near you.
I'd have my eye peeked out, dude. I thought Big Bird was like he ate like 4 characters on Sesame Street, and that was his deal.
no.
Like they were just keeping him in custody. They didn't know what
That's
to do.
so.
with him.
Oh man.
I was scared of Big Bird.
Tim Henson didn't want to.
Jim Henson was in
I
the.
was scared of Big Bird.
Really?
I was terrified. I was dude, the huge
Was it?
beak.
Was Big Bird one of the original ones? Because
Yes.
when you look back on
Yeah.
like Sesame Street, Elmo wasn't the original.
No,
It was
Elmo
Bert and
came
Ernie.
around in the 80s.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Bert and
yep.
Ernie who started it.
90s.
I think.
Jim Henson, creative genius, but
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
God rest his soul.
yes,
God rest his soul. But
he was.
no,
my guy.
Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie were always good. They were
Yeah,
always
Bert and
fun.
Ernie,
Rubber
they-
Ducky.
You know, Bert
Bathtub.
and Ernie got something. You know, they got something.
They got something going on. They do got something going on. Now, wasn't that confirmed too? Didn't they confirm that one
Controversial.
time?
That might be an
Bert,
episode,
Bert.
guys.
Okay, we're gonna be talking about
Oh,
Sesame
Bert,
Street
And Frog and Toad.
and Frog and Toad.
Now
that is
All
a
right.
great segue.
Frog and Toad, guys.
Frog and Toad.
Does anyone remember? You go open your little library in your
Go in the
elementary
library.
school and you pull out the sacred Frog and Toad.
Frog and Toad.
What are the
Classic.
most
Friends,
wholesome
baby.
guys
Yeah,
with
dude.
frogs? Let's
A
not
certified hood
misappropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. Because just go home, open up your Frog and Toad book that you just got from the library, and just have a good read of just their simple little stories.
Frog and Toad was like you go home on it's like a winter's night and have a nice cup of hot cocoa. Frog and Toad was soothing. They were just simple.
Yeah,
They lived
they're
a simple
standing
life.
behind you, empowering you.
I wanted to go
supporting
live
you.
in a pond. Like
Yeah, dude, they
that
have
made me
great
want to
houses.
leave my house.
They have great houses. They
Yeah.
got great real estate over there.
Dude,
over wherever
Frog
they
and,
are.
made
Frog
me
and
wanna,
Toad are
like-
definitely like moguls. They got like
Oh,
an
yeah.
empire going
They got
for
an
them.
empire going for
No,
them in the
I
city,
don't-
but they live
I don't
outside
Oh,
of
think
yeah.
that.
they're- I
You
don't
know?
think they're about that life.
No,
Not
they're
anymore.
about
They're
the simple
retired.
life.
They're like Jordan Belfort. You know, they
They-
got out of prison and they tried to turn.
Why they
life
go to
around.
prison? What they do?
Well, maybe they were real estate
You know the biz,
tycoons
Joe.
and they
You
didn't
just
pay
don't-
tax.
yeah.
They didn't pay taxes.
Oh,
That's my
tax
that's
evasion?
my that's my logical
I-
conclusion.
That's why they. That's
Yeah.
why they're hiding out in the woods.
Yeah.
What is the better feeling? Sleeping on a nice cold pillow.
This guy with the questions.
Hold
over
on,
there.
wait. Sleeping on a nice cold
I'm
pillow.
tuned out. Good night.
Or getting into the car and the air
Spit it out.
conditioning being nice
the
and
pillow.
soothing on your
It's
face.
the pillow.
No, it's a pillow. Where did this come
Yeah,
from?
well, I don't know, I'm just
you're-
thinking of
You're throwing out
questions.
curveballs
Every
over here.
Every
Hey.
day. All day, every day. It's the pillow.
Cold pillow. No, I agree.
Pillow.
I agree.
Well,
Cold pillow.
Dude.
Cold pillow.
It's just
Yeah,
like
cold
it's
pillow.
like a long day of working hard. You shower.
Because you're not sleeping behind the wheel, I hope. I mean,
No,
you know, you're not like,
that's not what that's for.
you know what I mean? You're
That's the
holding it
best.
on
That's
that
the
light.
best,
Right.
like 8 hours cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
behind
agree with the
wheel.
cold pillow. Or, you know what sucks, though? I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll go, damn it. I'll have to turn the pillow over.
Yep.
Is I'm like,
turn the
oh
pillow over,
my God,
get
it's
that
like a-
nice cool
It's
side.
like an incubator lukewarm,
Yeah.
and there's like sweat and drool. I'm like, I'm all set. I have
Yeah.
to flip it over, and it
Yeah.
might be stuck. I don't know.
It's rough.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back to Frog and Toad.
All right,
because that was
Ethan's-
Ethan threw out a curveball.
Ethan's throwing us
question.
off the tracks.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, Frog and Toad.
Petition to
They're
fire
making
him.
a show. They're making a new show. Frog and Toad's getting a show.
Whoa. On what? Apple TV, right?
Apple TV. Apple TV is the show. And
All right.
they actually had a show originally. I think it was in the 90s. And it was like claymation.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it was like claymation
kidding,
Frog and Toad.
yeah.
Now they're going back to doing animated. So that's why it was a good
It's getting
segment.
an upgrade.
It's getting an upgrade.
Yeah.
Those books are right alongside like the Magic Treehouse series.
Yes.
Magic
Yes.
Trios.
Yeah, right. I
Right.
survived.
Is that still going?
I survived too. I survived.
I
It was a
survived.
good
I
series.
survived was always
The
good.
Magic School
I
Bus.
survived.
Always good. These are classic books to read.
You ever read that one?
Which one?
I survived Dad's beating. You ever read that? Okay. I'm sorry, but you know.
That's getting cut out.
No. Whoa.
Anyways,
yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
that was the
Trios.
bootleg one, but
Magic-
yeah.
Magic Treehouse. Magic Treehouse was always a very great book series. I remember
Yeah.
doing a project on one about Brazilian soccer when they went to Brazil. you threw me off so much.
I-
with that.
I threw you another
survived
curveball, bro.
Anyways, Magic Treehouse. I remember being always like classic books. I remember the Mummy one and the Ninjas one. Was
Consistent.
never-
Consistent.
Do they still have?
Remember Merlin, Magic Merlin? They go.
I don't remember.
Merlin.
Magic
He
Merlin.
He was the wizard.
was a wizard.
He
I
made
know.
them travel.
Treehouse.
Joe doesn't know this.
Yes, Magic Treehouse.
Holy God.
Magic Wait. No,
It
it
was
was the
Merlin.
Treehouse
It was
that
just-
was magic.
We got a computer.
All right, we do have a computer. We're gonna look it up because
You guys can't see this. We're too low budget to show you. Let's see. Magic.
Magic Tree. There was never a wizard that like
Merlin.
made the thing go. It
Magic
was always the treehouse itself was magic. I thought.
Treehouse.
Am I wrong?
No, there was a Merlin.
He pulled up.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, he pulled up
What
the
is-
Merlin missions. I read these.
Merlin Mission.
This also reminds me of Percy Jackson. Another series. I don't know if you guys read that one.
Oh, yeah.
Turn to the
yeah.
movies. There was a some hot guy everybody likes. What's his name? The Percy Jackson lead member.
Dylan
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
It was?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't it?
1 point for me right there.
Yeah, I think it was Dylan O'Brien.
I made
I,
it for
ne-
my.
I never knew about the Magic Merlin series.
Yeah, it was like a spoof.
It was a spoof.
It was a little spoof.
Spin-off,
Little
trying to get a little
spoofy.
extra money off the
It was
franchise.
spoofy, but what do we
okay.
know
Well,
about
anyways.
the Frog and Toad show? What do we know?
I don't know much about
There's
it.
not
to be
a
honest
lot
with
of
you.
confirmed
There
news
isn't a
for the
lot about
show.
it. I think it actually, well, at the time of this recording, at least April 29th, because we're recording this like at 3 a.m. But
Just
they came out. I think it came
I'll
out.
watch.
I haven't watched it, and because I don't have Apple TV. Speaking of which, Apple TV streaming services dominating the industry of
Yes.
movie and film,
Yes.
and movie and television.
Good.
What is our thoughts on streaming services? How are we feeling? How are we feeling
Kinda
about how many
ruined
there are?
everything, I feel
I-
like. Because
That's valid.
the whole point of a theater is to
Yeah.
get the optimal experience, the most
Yeah.
immersive
Yeah.
like experience possible. But
I think on top of the theater aspect, you take streaming services and it took away from like the blockbuster. You go into your family on a Friday night, you pick out a movie, you pick out a snack. Like it brought a tangible level to watching movies and
Yeah.
obviously going to the theater. It did that, but it's the accessibility factor that kind of, I wouldn't say defers and pushes the, experience to the side. But I understand streaming services are popular, and they're popular for a very good reason. It makes
Right,
it
right,
easy.
yeah.
You're in your home. People are lazy. We're getting lazier by the day. That's
Yeah.
normal, I'm getting fatter. I'm putting on the pounds. I should be going the other way because the summer's coming up. You got to get the hot girl summer going. But I'm telling you, sometimes the streaming, man, it's nice. Netflix, you're just in your bed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
I mean,
want to.
Netflix
Just to,
is it's on the.
Well, Netflix is starting to go down a little
Sure,
bit.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
to make a
I'll
point,
agree.
theaters did make a comeback in 2022 and 2023.
It's because everybody
If-
wanted
if-
to go out.
if you-
you
if
know?
you-
Because
if you
COVID.
did notice that.
Yeah.
But I also
So,
think keep going.
Before that, they were pretty much dead. I mean, you went into the theater in Liberty Tree Mall in
Yeah, I was about to
2019.
say
the
malls
Mall was
because a lot of
done.
theaters are in malls.
Yeah,
Liberty
yeah.
Tree Mall 2019, even today. I mean,
Yeah.
You know
It's
what?
dead.
In Ipswich,
Horrible.
there used to be one downtown. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
there
Yeah,
was.
there used to be
There
one.
was.
Theaters like
Yeah,
bowling
yeah,
alley.
yeah.
Oh,
They got
man,
rid of
I
that.
would-
See
that was
this?
so good. Anyways,
I'm telling you, time.
That's
We have
also,
nothing
like,
to do
third
around
spaces.
here.
We're losing
We
third
have nothing.
spaces with
Yeah.
that.
down,
That should be
downtown
brought
Ipswich
up.
is a little.
Yeah.
Downtown Ipswich,
Downtown
there's no
Ipswich.
center area for
No, there really
like,
isn't.
kids
We
our
lost the
age.
dollar
Well,
store.
I
I
know,
know.
dude. We lost
I
the
mean,
dollars.
it's like more about like the third spaces now.
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
third spaces, it's not like school or work.
No.
And it's not your house.
Yeah. Right.
It's another entity. Like
To break into. No, but
yeah,
Right.
it used to be
Yeah.
church, but now we're seeing like less numbers. of
We ain't
people go
blessed
to the
anymore,
Church, you
no.
know,
For many different reasons
Yeah.
not covered in this episode,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, we're gonna have to
reasons
cut
we
out a
can't
lot of
talk
stuff.
about. You know.
you know, yeah, but
Yeah. Anyways, but I think the biggest thing was that COVID in particular
Yeah.
was obviously a movie theater destroyer.
Yeah.
Like nobody
Yeah,
was able to
one
go
time.
out, obviously for obvious
Unfortunately.
reasons. Nobody did go out,
no.
and movie theaters just suffered. And that gave obviously streaming services time to just dominate the field. Particularly like Disney Plus came out, I think a year.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think only like a couple months before COVID actually kickstarted. Everybody just bought Disney Plus, watch every
I
you know,
think-
Disney movie, whatever.
Yeah, I think theater will be a niche thing eventually. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. I mean, I understand that the prevailing mode of watching, films and such is now streaming services, but I don't see theaters like completely vanishing altogether. There's
Yeah,
always going to
yeah.
be like those. There's still blockbusters, for
Oh,
example,
absolutely.
in America. There's not many, but they're still there. So there's
Yeah.
always going to be minority communities of some sort trying to preserve it in
Yeah,
some way,
yeah.
shape, or
It's
form.
a memory thing for them. It's a
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
something of bygone time. You're not going to just get rid of it necessarily. You'd be abolishing a whole amount of history.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
Top Gun did that really well.
Yeah,
What was
Yeah.
that,
Top Gun
last year?
dominated box office.
Dominated box
Yeah.
office.
There was some good box office
There was-
hits
there were-
actually
there
this
were,
year,
really
and
were,
I
yeah.
was shocked because I thought
Yeah.
movies were kind of
Yeah, no.
around,
Top
but-
Gun. Top Gun was a movie that was in theaters and was
Yeah.
only in theaters
Yeah.
for a fairly decent amount of time before I think it went to streaming. I don't know where exactly, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on streaming now.
Yeah.
But
It's probably on like Paramount Plus.
yeah, something like
Well,
that for
Wanna
sure.
guess.
Joseph,
Cool,
we're gonna talk about the biggest flop of this year, which was Babylon. In the
Babylon,
in the
yeah.
box office because
Yeah,
seen
dude,
it.
Babylon
that
was
had
weird,
a
man.
he was
Does
around
everyone look
80
that up?
I'm
million.
gonna look that up.
Jamie
'cause I
pulled
actually
the
don't
clip.
know.
It was
Yeah, Jamie pulled the clip. Joe
they
Rogan.
lost like $60 million
Don't sue
or
us.
something.
No.
It must have been more. It
What?
must have been less.
Budget was 80 million.
How much did they-
Box office 63. So it wasn't that much of a
20
flop, I guess.
I mean,
but
but realistically, when you have
Who was
Brad
the
Pitt,
cast?
Brad Pitt,
Oh,
and
Brad
Margot
Pitt.
Robbie,
it was who played Spider? Who's the original Spider-Man?
Tobey
Tobey Maguire. Yeah, Tobey Maguire was
yeah.
in it.
You
It
had
was crazy.
3 superstars, basically in one
flopped.
movie, and it flopped. It's,
Yeah, I mean, I heard it was like good though.
it was.
I just think nobody watched it.
What are we thinking about that new Wes Anderson flick?
Dude, that looks crazy.
What is it called?
Oh.
Asteroid City.
Asteroid City.
right?
The cast is nuts.
The cast is with
Crazy,
Tom
right?
Hanks.
Scarlett
Maya
Johansson,
Hansen.
Maya Hawke.
Jesus Christ.
Like, everybody to ever exist is in that
oh
movie.
my god.
Steve
Steve
Carell.
Carell.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
I saw photos, like a reel on TikTok of it, and it's just got. It's the most Wes Anderson.
Oh, it
Wes
so
Anderson
is.
movie.
It's like an alien movie.
Yeah.
They're gonna go and
They're
check out
gonna-
the
there's gonna be
aliens.
aliens?
It's in like a
That's Tom Hanks.
like a nuclear town, like a nuclear whatever bomb testing town, right?
like Nuketown.
Like Newtown,
Yeah.
basically like Newtown,
Mhm.
and apparently there's aliens that show up. That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like. But
God.
that's actually funny you bring up Wes Anderson because I actually
Yeah.
just rewatched what was his latest one, The French Dispatch, which is like the 3 stories
my
one.
God.
that was with
Timothy Chalamet,
Chalamet.
Francis McDormand,
Chalamet.
Francis
God.
McDormand, and a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And it was like it didn't feel Wes Anderson. Like I mean, it did.
I
Like obviously had the
mean-
style, but it just wasn't like
We all
good
know
Wes
when
Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Oh, Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's
There will be a review of that movie.
My personal
And-
favorite movie.
And the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel was also
Hotel,
amazing.
yeah.
That was a great movie.
He's a really good director. He's his
He's
style.
got such a style.
He does.
I
He's
mean,
such a
it's
style.
literally the most like decipherable style. Like you
Yeah.
immediately know it's him.
And a lot of his movies are like really colorful, which I think it benefits.
That's what
So
struck me
cool.
about Asteroid
But-
City.
Yeah, like
Was the
actually,
pastel
the
color scheme?
So
it was
nice.
really cool.
But
to
I think
see.
with the French
Retro.
Dispatch,
Yeah.
I think there was if I'm not mistaken, from what I remember, there was an entire sequence in like black and white, and I don't know, it
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
feel right. Like it didn't feel like good Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Asteroid City, I have high hopes for.
What
I
about
actually
Oppenheimer?
hope so.
Oppenheimer.
Too,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
the Oppenheimer.
with what's his face? He was Scarecrow.
Cillian Murphy.
Murphy, yeah,
Cillian Murphy.
yeah. That I really interested to see.
Yeah.
I think they said the movie covers like a 40-year time period in like
Even
3
after
hours.
Aftermath?
Aftermath. I think
Aftermath
I think
of the
Aftermath.
Manhattan
I
Project.
think. Yeah.
Oh,
That has a good cast too. That's
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy. Of course, I can't remember anybody else off the top of my head, but I believe that also has a good cast. Also,
Is that Christopher? Is that directed by Christopher Nolan?
Christopher Nolan.
Oh,
Christopher
yeah.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Huge budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's- Nolan
Yeah.
Nolan films are always
He did.
about
He
Manhattan.
didn't he do like a recreation of the nuke dropping without
Yes.
CGI? I think that's what
Yes.
the
My
reports were
God.
saying.
Nolan
So he
is
must have had like a
crazy.
bunch of just
But
set
Nolan
explosives.
does that all the time.
Yeah, he does crazy
He
stuff.
doesn't
He's
really
so
like
good.
CGI.
Do you guys see
He's-
Tenet? Anybody? Tenet?
No, I
I
still
didn't watch
haven't
it. I
seen
didn't like
that
it.
Oh.
movie.
Wasn't that
People-
with Denzel Washington's
Son, yeah,
Yeah.
John David Washington.
Yep.
Tenet was really good. I liked it. A lot of people kind of, I don't know, it sounds like people were kind of
It's a
iffy
mixed
on
bag,
it.
right?
Mixed
50,
bag.
50,
I thought it was so good because it was all about like reversing time and like reversing events. It was so
How long
weird.
that movie? That was a long
Um,
one, right?
I think
Oh, yeah,
maybe like
yeah.
2.5. I think.
Okay.
What was that? 20. I think it came out like prime COVID too, like 2020.
okay.
So I don't think it really
It was
did
big.
as well.
It was big. I thought.
And the
right?
audio was really weird. And I don't know why. It was like really quiet, and I think I could be completely wrong on this, but I think it was that they recorded some of the audio for the movie like at home, like on Zoom, because it was during COVID,
Oh, so
and that's
it's
why some of the
quiet.
That's
stuff,
weird,
like the
yeah.
audio,
So
was a
it
little
wasn't
weird.
really
I could be
as
wrong. Could be
boomy?
wrong. No, it wasn't as like. Well, obviously, I didn't
Boomy.
see it in the theater, to be fair, but. I watched it at home, so maybe that was also contributed to
It's
that
the COVID
quieter.
times.
Yeah,
We did what
COVID
we
times.
could.
COVID
Desperate
times,
for
but-
desperate measures for that.
Yeah, back to Oppenheimer real quick. It's apparently releasing alongside Barbie, which I think
The
is
Barbie
which has
movie.
been obviously like a meme going around.
Which that's gonna be
Ryan
another. That's gonna be a different
Ryan
kind of
Gosling,
bomb.
Margot
Margot
Robbie,
Robbie,
Michael Cera.
I'm telling you,
stuff like
Barbie
that,
is
dude.
gonna be a different kind of bomb. That's gonna be a whole.
I don't know,
nother-
dude, because
They're
isn't
gonna
that
That's
30
gonna be a
million
whole
bucks.
nother
Oh,
bomb.
man.
Isn't the
That's 30
director-
million down the drain.
Yeah.
isn't
I'm
the director the
no.
same one who did Don't Worry, Darling?
Oh,
I think it was right. Olivia Wilde, is that right?
I don't
No,
understand.
Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig. I'm wrong.
What's
Greta
the
Gerwig.
point
Greta
of a
Gerwig.
Barbie movie? Like,
It-
tell me.
It's too.
It's
it's not.
toys. You know.
From what I'm hearing, it's not like a traditional Barbie movie because it's kind of like an adult version of Barbie. It's what it sounds like because they made like
It's not appealing
like
to
sex jokes and stuff in the
Imagine
trailers.
they do Barbie, but it's just like the Wolf of Wall Street.
that'd be great. They're all like doing
Jordan!
drugs.
Barbie's like, Jordan!
Ken, what
Jordan
are you
the
doing,
baby,
Ken?
when you waking him up?
That'd be crazy.
He's got the
dude.
phone around Jonah Hill's neck.
Instead, dude,
crazy.
they title the movie Barbie, but instead it's about Ken being the new
And
Wolf
it's-
of Wall Street.
Oh yeah.
That would be so good,
And
dude.
it's directed by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese
that would make
directs
it, that would
Barbie.
make the movie peak.
Yeah,
you know?
that'd be a peak
80
movie.
million
That'd be a goated
results.
movie. Yeah.
Still makes
He's-
10 out of 10 films.
He
so.
literally roamed along the dinosaurs. Came to make these movies. I swear to God.
He
Bro,
saw.
He graced us with Goodfellas.
Bro
He
was-
saw.
Oh my god.
What's up? The Goodfellas?
Dude,
Oh, it's
Martin
a-
Scorsese's so good, and he's still good.
He's still
You guys,
great.
he has a new
Goodfellas,
movie,
Casino.
Goodfellas Casino.
He might wear
um,
adult diapers at this point.
The
but he can make
Departed,
a good
like-
movie. I'll tell you that much.
No, he's doing a new movie too. He's doing
It's one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
and
He's
Brendan
in every
Fraser.
one of them.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser and a Martin
Biggest
Scorsese,
comeback.
bro.
Oh man.
Dude,
Biggest
And
comeback, The
film-
Whale.
goated. Brendan
Film
Fraser.
history.
The Whale was a movie and a half. It was a whale of a
I
movie.
haven't
That was a
seen
whale
it.
of a movie.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of depressing?
It was
though?
it was very depressing.
The opening scene is a little jarring. I'll
Yeah,
just leave
did
it
you
at
watch
that.
it? Did you
I
watch it?
did.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
did?
saw
Sick.
the movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I did.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser, like the movie itself was fine.
Yeah.
But Brendan Fraser was like.
Brendan Fraser makes the movie
Was the movie,
worthwhile.
yeah.
I mean, the emotion, that guy took all of his 20-odd years of trauma and he dumped it in that
Yeah,
character.
dude, it was crazy.
I mean, he
And,
had
like,
the bodysuit. You see the prosthetics
it was
of that?
crazy.
Guy couldn't walk.
I know, dude,
I mean-
insane. Like,
Mhm.
I think did that win best special or like practical effects? I think it did.
Did he
for
win?
Oscars.
Did he win best
He
actor?
won Best Actor.
He won
too.
Best Actor, yeah, he did win Best Actor.
Bro was crying too.
Very
He was
impressive.
Like, "There's
Deserves
a
it.
light
Deserves
in
it.
the fire." Of course
Yeah,
he does.
dude, he was
George of the
awesome.
Jungle,
Like,
you know,
he was George of the Jungle, dude. George of the Jungle got an Oscar. That's crazy.
George of the Jungle.
I want to rewatch that movie. I want to rewatch George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
That's what we're
we'll
gonna
watch
do.
it after this, guys.
Yeah, we're definitely watching George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Yeah.
no, The Whale was goated. Very good movie for Brendan Fraser reasons, really only.
Yeah, it was a Fraserism.
Sadie Sink was fine too, and I forget.
I
Samantha
hated
Morton.
her, but I understood what she was trying to achieve.
Yeah, she was awful, dude. Do you remember
She was literally such a vile person.
She
I
was,
like,
yeah, it
oh
was
my
awful.
god, but that's what she's so convincing. Like, she played Max
Yeah.
in Stranger Things. It was the same kind of snarky character.
Yeah.
So she's good at those
Well,
roles.
I remember this one line from the movie, or one of the posts was, "If he dies, he'll start a grease fire in hell," which
That
is
was-
so.
that's
It's
the
so
biggest
bad, dude.
roast.
It's so
That's so
bad. But
awful.
I'm not. I gotta admit, I was giggling as
That
everybody.
was-
Everybody in my theater
That
was
was body shaming Dead Smart.
was
I'm sorry.
stone cold silent,
Like-
just completely
Brutal.
serious,
Brutal.
So awful.
like realizing how sad the movie is, and then they
Oh.
show that, and I'm like, dude, I gotta laugh right now, but I
had a
can't.
little- I went
felt
from
awful.
crying.
I feel
I
awful.
went from crying to like sharding from laughter.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, it was
a whole, like,
it was
360
rough. It was a
180.
rough go.
Yeah, it
I was biting my lip to not laugh for that one.
I was biting
But
my nails and fingers.
the rest of the movie,
It
was
was
very sad.
good.
Very
Yeah,
sad.
it
It was
was
a very good
good.
movie. Very good
Yeah,
movie for
good.
Brendan Fraser reasons, but
yeah.
yeah.
Send it to heaven.
yeah, dude, he sent it to heaven.
Just stop that moment.
You need to read. You gotta read it. And he read the essay.
Read it.
It was nice. It was nice, but
Yeah, it was.
I don't think. But I feel like it's weird because they made a movie version, right? And this was originally a play.
Yeah.
How is the play going to be any better than Brendan Fraser?
Is it? Oh, are they doing that again? Like, are they gonna show?
I'm sure they are, right? I imagine. I don't know. I really didn't look into the play, to be honest with you, before I went in. But
Yeah, sometimes it plays better. You got something like Cats. You know, that was one of those.
cats. Oh my God, James Corden as a giant cat. I hate
Oh,
James
James-
Corden.
James Corden.
James
I'm so
Corden
glad
is
he
awful.
got
You know what
kicked
he
off
is,
the
though.
show.
Did you
so-
see the videos of him stopping traffic in like a Los Angeles
Yes, I did see that.
intersection
I
to
did
do
see
a
that.
stupid bit with like a singing bit for his
He's like,
last
hold
show?
on, hold on,
Alright,
hold
can
on.
we cancel all late night shows?
Dude.
Wait a
all
minute.
late
Whoa,
night shows.
whoa.
Except
Controversial
Hot take.
opinions!
a select
Okay,
few.
wait a second.
Most
Okay.
of them are
Which one do you want to
trash.
cancel?
Which one do you want to cancel?
Which one do we
Give me
cancel?
the
Like,
list.
write it
Myers,
down.
we're taking
Seth
out-
Meyers. Seth Meyers.
I
He's
agree with
just
that.
kind of
I agree with that.
there. Yeah.
Jimmy
Yeah, no,
Fallon needs to go.
Really?
SNL.
Ooh, that's a hot
Jimmy
I
take.
think
Fallon-
That's a hot take.
I think
Fallon,
Jimmy.
dude.
Okay, Jimmy Kimmel is so bad. I'll tell you the reason why. So he hosted the Oscars, I'm pretty sure, right? Jimmy
He did.
Kimmel?
He did host the Oscars.
Malala was there. That's random, but you know, and he
Okay.
goes up to Malala and asks her about Harry Styles. I'm like, bro was trying so hard for a lap, and it
Oh.
flopped. She's like, I only
Oh.
talk about peace, and Jimmy Fallon was. Just,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that is true.
Jimmy Fallon literally.
like. I'm sorry.
no.
He literally had to pull out his joke book from like elementary school.
Yeah,
for
from
that.
20
like,
years
bro had
ago.
to pull the cobwebs off his joke book, open to page
Had to blow it
2.
off.
He goes, "Why did the like?" He was just beyond.
Yikes.
I just think
That's rough.
he's stale and he does anything for a
Exactly.
laugh,
Yeah.
and so it comes across as so
Yeah.
forced and it's bad.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
it's
fair.
just bad. But
He does a lot of
Jimmy-
Trump stuff, I think, too. Which
Yeah.
we're not getting into
Which
politics,
it's like
but
at this point,
It's
the Trump
overused.
stuff
It's
is
overused,
just
yeah.
like it's a
Overused.
weak,
Especially SNL,
it's a
dude.
weak way of going at it. You know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really
No, I
like
agree.
SNL.
It's
has
like
gone
fart
downhill,
jokes.
SNL's
so
It's like going for
really
fart
bad.
jokes.
Yeah.
It's like the really like low hanging fruit ones. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really
No, I know
lowbrow
what you're
stuff.
saying.
It's
I know
for
what
like
you're
you
saying.
don't need a stepping stool to reach the cereal box. You know?
Yeah.
It's like kind of one of those. That was so stupid. But
Yeah,
you know.
that
what I mean.
was a good. That was a good
But you know what I
comparison.
mean? You know what I mean?
It's just
Um,
like, Jesus.
Who else is on your list though? Who else is on your list to get rid of?
I feel like that's mainly.
Conan, I wish didn't leave. I wish Conan.
Oh,
Conan was good.
I
Conan was
love
good.
Conan.
Conan was, yeah.
Conan, yeah.
Conan's moving on to bigger and better things, which
He
is
has
probably
another
just.
podcast. Conan has his own
Does
podcast. He does.
What is it called? Do we know? I don't know about this.
The Conan O'Brien podcast.
Is that really what it is?
Let's check it out.
We have a computer. We're gonna look it up.
Yeah, all right, guys.
Yeah,
technology.
Conan was good. Conan was good.
O'Brien.
I
Conan
don't.
was great, dude.
Conan, yeah.
He
I don't
was-
mind.
You know he went to Harvard? You know that, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I know he grew up
Ethan disappeared.
around the New England area. I
Ethan
think.
couldn't
Yeah.
handle
He grew up in
Pretty
New
sure.
England. Yeah.
Handle the pressure of the
Um,
podcast.
Conan
Yeah,
O'Brien.
so-
Excuse my typing like a grandmother. Hold up. Is it gonna give me the Wikipedia page? How old is he? He's 60? Bro, like sexy for that age. God. All right.
All right. Can we find it? No. All right. Anyways. Doesn't
Anyways,
matter.
moving
Doesn't
on.
matter. Moving on.
Irrelevant.
Jimmy Fallon. I don't mind Jimmy Fallon. I'm fine with Jimmy
He's
Fallon.
mid.
Guys, we
He's
gotta
mid.
stop shaking.
He's either funny or he's not.
Yeah.
There's no
yeah,
in between.
Yeah.
I feel like that's that way for a lot of comedians. I think the funniest comedian that I know was the guy that was
Probably
in Breaking
you.
Bad. What's the guy from Breaking Bad? What's the guy?
Bryan Cranston?
Oh,
No.
oh
Bill
my God.
Burr.
Bill Burr. Bill Burr.
Sorry, I couldn't
Bill
spit it
Burr,
out.
I agree, is the
Really?
funniest
Ooh.
comedian in my
Dude.
opinion.
He's up there.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr,
Yes.
literally.
Really had to say
That
the
dude
guy from
Breaking Bad.
Bro, come on.
Okay.
couldn't spit it out.
Hey, he was in the
All
Mandalorian.
right. Okay. So
too.
here's the thing about Bill Burr, though.
Okay.
All right, it's probably controversial. I can only listen to him for like 25 minutes because after a while, it like just becomes angry, just screaming. Like it's
And,
it's
No,
funny.
It's literally just like
He's like-
white noise in Boston.
He's like, "Are you serious? I go to
What?
New Jersey. What? Like, the man can't chill. I swear to
He
God.
can't chill. That's his whole
I
gimmick,
don't know
though. That's his
how.
whole gimmick.
Like his wife must sedate him. Like
Yo,
put
dude,
him
he
to
talks about
sleep
that all the
every
time. He
night.
uses his wife for like jokes.
Like
and stuff.
I
Wow.
swear to God, his
no,
wife
no,
must.
it's gotta
what's
be
that
so
Italian,
annoying because he's like a
comedian's
barking
name?
like
Sebastian
muscle,
Maniscalco.
dude.
That
Sebastian-
He's over. Yeah,
Maniscalco.
he
He's
overused
so
it.
overrated. He talks about he goes into Target. It's literally his voice. Like I went into Target. I'm like,
There's a
dude.
subway
Yeah.
joke. The subway
Yeah.
joke, where he's like, "There's a lady in front of me, and she asked for all the meats." Hey, all right.
I feel like honestly, bro, just he writes in his journal, brings it on stage, and just reads it. Like that's all he does. He just
Yeah.
writes about it. He
Yeah.
talks about his day, and he's like, "I'm funny because I have money and I'm Italian." Like there's so many of
That's
those
exactly
like
it.
there's so many of those like middle class Italian comedians. They just don't hit.
Yeah,
They don't hit. They're like
Yeah.
the middle-aged like white family comedian.
Yeah.
I don't mean to
Right.
stereotype, but a little
But-
bit. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you walk in on that ritzy family watching Sebastian, and you're like, why is he on? You know, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
You just need
Comedians.
some filler programming. Come on.
Yeah,
it's
so something on the
he's like
background,
good white
yeah.
noise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too big into comedians. I tend to not really laugh at a lot of comedians' jokes. I don't know. Never gets me because I think like the moments where it's like not scripted. You know, they didn't write this out. Like the stuff that just happens. Like when
Yeah,
they do like
that's
when they
funny.
call it like hecklers and stuff. That's funny because
Oh
they,
my
they
God.
couldn't have
Them
prepared
on
for that.
podcasts
There's
is
this
the best
one
part.
guy on
It's
YouTube who's so good with hecklers.
He's the
He's just
British guy.
shut up. It's so good. He just shuns them. He doesn't
Really?
give them the light
What
of
is
day.
that?
Oh,
Okay,
God.
he has glasses.
Glasses.
He kind of looks like a
black
buff
hair.
AJ.
It's-
If anyone
it's
knows
so
who AJ
funny.
is, I swear.
I can't picture.
I don't know. Oh my
No,
god.
it's you probably know.
Would I know
him.
if I saw him? Okay.
You would know him.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
blanking.
We'll have to look at it after. I'll get the full
we'll take a
rundown.
gander.
We'll ask
of it.
Jamie to pull up the clip.
Yeah, we'll ask Jamie to pull
We
up the
needed
clip.
Jamie though.
We do need a
We'll
Do we
pay
need a
him.
Jamie?
We'll pay him less than
We need
otherwise.
let's get Joe
But,
Rogan. Wait, no, we should get Joe Rogan to be our Jamie.
Oh my god.
Like,
What's your
really
thoughts
go
on Joe
on.
Rogan?
right now.
Joe
No, like,
Rogan right
what's
now.
your actual thoughts
He's
on Joe
valid.
Rogan?
I never
I love-
literally listened to
I
him.
love
I
Okay,
don't listen to him
here's this
now.
about Joe Rogan that's good. Joe Rogan has always been self-aware. He's extremely humble. Like
Okay.
Joe Rogan understands when he knows nothing about a subject, and he's fully willing to listen to both sides. I mean, I understand that at the end of the day, the man has an opinion, but he's literally so yes.
Troy Bond. There's our
Troy
Jamie.
Bond.
Alex Nelson.
Jamie's got it.
Troy.
Give it up for
Bond.
Nelly.
Give it up for Nelly. Good work, Nelly. Nelly, great work.
Kid behind the camera.
Troy Bond. That doesn't sound familiar though. That doesn't sound familiar.
So, like the heckler will start saying things
Yeah.
and he'll be like,
That's literally you see the veins going.
Oh,
like he's screaming. Bro is screaming. Looks like
That's-
the air. He looks like the Airheads commercial. When
There.
the heads blow up.
That's
And
right.
then-
That's
yeah. Oh my god. What were we
okay.
talking? I was a little excited.
We were talking about Joe Rogan. We were talking about Joe Rogan before
Thank you.
Jamie
Thank
Jamie
you.
helped us out.
Thank you. My dementia. It's
Yeah,
early
of course,
stages.
of course. No, I
But
gotta help you out, man.
yeah.
No, so Joe Rogan, right? He's had so many different people. You think about
He does have a lot of
He's
people.
had like
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
he
lot
had
of
Brian
people.
Cox, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
He's had Mike Tyson.
Elon Musk. I almost said Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. X-J12.
Yeah, X-J12.
You know, I wish though he had, because he's never had a president on, has he? That's what I'd love to
Has
see.
He
He's had
presidents
I don't watch
on.
Joe
on.
Rogan much.
He had Bernie Sanders on too.
Yeah, he did have Bernie
That was in
Sanders.
his
Oh.
early. That was in 2016, right before.
And then I can always go
election.
for Joey Diaz episode.
Joey
Oh my
Diaz.
God.
We're not gonna get into
That
that.
is like the
That's-
only
I
Joe
hope
Rogan
not.
episodes I'll ever watch. It's just the
All
Joey
right,
Diaz
Joseph
ones.
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Let me tell
exactly.
you
Just
something.
use the full
Let me
name.
tell you, Joe.
And then whenever Joe Rogan does like the bear noises and stuff, that yeah,
Oh, it's
that
so
that
good.
is so
you
good.
get to a PG episode of this with Joey Diaz. Is the
No,
Sunday.
you
dude,
can't.
dude, Joey
No, he's
Diaz.
never-
will
Joey
come in
Diaz,
and-
there'd be a lot of bleeping. There'd be a lot
Yeah,
too much
dude.
editing. We're too low budget for that again.
Yeah. We're gonna
but
get
We
yeah.
Joey
don't. We
Diaz
don't want to
one
get
day,
kicked
but-
off either.
Yeah, you know.
Joey Diaz is a crazy guy.
He's a
Some-
wild.
Some wild.
We'd love to
stories.
have him on.
Love to have him on. Joey Diaz, if you
I
watch
just don't
him.
know if we'd have enough space for
color
That's
is green.
true.
That's all I'm
Might be
saying.
tough to fit him in.
Thomas.
Yeah.
The color's green, but good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Classic Joe Rogan.
If you
Joey
guess the
Diaz
color.
moments. Yeah.
That's
But,
a little.
Green,
yeah.
but good enough.
Green, but
That's for
good
the late.
enough.
That's for the late show, guys.
Yeah,
Tune
the
into that
late
one
late
for that
show.
one.
The rated R show.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe
He's
Rogan's
great.
good. Joe Rogan's
He's
good.
our main
Joey-
competitor. We're getting.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting. We're getting
gonna
close.
we're gonna
We're
go
getting
after
on
Joe
par with
Rogan.
Joe.
I think we're getting there.
We gotta
We're gonna
start
get
posting
there.
like
Few
propaganda.
shots short. Yeah.
Propaganda against Joe Rogan.
Shut him down.
Shut him down. Get him shut.
This
Is he on
year-
he's on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Big
when we-
Spotify deal.
Big Spotify deal.
Only on
Huge.
Spotify.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right? He
Huge.
doesn't do
He
YouTube
has
anymore.
clips on YouTube.
which is still
It's
nice.
mainly.
Whoa,
It's
that he
mainly-
must be making bank.
Yeah, he has a clip channel and like a
Clip channel and oh man,
thing with
And he's
Spotify.
jacked as hell.
He is.
Takes care of his body.
super
Yeah, dude, he
jacked.
does.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, his head kind of looks like an egg, but you know, it's all good. Like,
Because he's bald.
He's doing
No,
better than
Okay,
all
I'm
those
go.
people.
I'm
It's-
getting
it's
there.
the Joe
I'm getting
Rogan
there,
thing.
guys.
It's
I'm
the
getting
Joe
there.
Rogan
Long time. All right.
You know,
Yeah.
you can say it if you are. I'm getting there. I can almost say bald.
We don't know yet.
We're gonna have our own personal
uh,
Joe Rogan over here.
Yeah, you know, eventually.
Eventually.
Eventually, it
When
might
we're
be on the
old
podcast.
and we're 50 and we're still doing this at 3
I might have like
a.m.
2 hairs left on the top.
Yeah,
you know,
two-
like
two
you know,
little-
like
two
baby
little hairs.
cartoon babies with like the
Yeah.
curled hair at the top,
curl
and
the
the
Charlie
cigarette.
Brown and stuff.
Yeah.
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 But
Mhm.
yeah. Anyways.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
what do
good.
you think, guys?
That's it,
We're gonna,
guys.
we're gonna wrap
I
here.
think-
Welcome, guys, to the first segment of the podcast. These are going to be like little individual parts towards the end of the podcast, where in this case, me and my co-host Ethan Hansen are going to be talking about movies in this case. We might have some other co-hosts alongside, maybe some other guests as well, to talk about particular movies and shows. But for this first one, me and Ethan, have just watched the movie Scream 6. Now, I know this movie came out on March 10th, which was about a month ago, right? About a month ago now.
Yeah.
Long while ago, but regardless, we watched it for the first time because, well, came out on streaming services, like we were talking about before. Streaming services are taking over, but Scream 6, what are we feeling, Ethan? Give me your general thoughts. What are we feeling?
I think the base of the movie was just kind of like the generic horror movie, and like I didn't see any of the Scream movies at all.
Yeah, he's
I
a
mean,
first-time
I-
viewer.
I
First-time
know,
viewer.
I know you, Joe.
I've seen all.
You've seen all of them.
I've seen them all.
So I think they did give like a good base summary of the movie when it came to like first-time watchers. I kind of understood the plot and the story, but however, Joe did have to explain a little bit.
I did, yeah, that is right. I did have to add some explanation to some of the parts of the movie. There was one scene though with like Kirby, which was another character, a returning character from Scream 4, where she like went up to a board and kind of explained like who all the previous killers were, because this movie was, for a Scream movie, this was by far the most unique Scream movie that I think they've ever done.
All right, what was your rating out of it? Out of 10?
Rating out of 10? I'm gonna have to go. I'm trying to think of it.
You have to.
I have to go from a
critique it.
critical
Yeah,
point of view.
yeah.
Like a 5. No, like a 6. It was good. Like, it was good. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed watching it. I thought the kills were really good. It was gory. You know, it was a Scream movie. But yeah, I mean, the returning characters were good. Unfortunately, the actress Neve Campbell, who played Cindy Prescott in all the previous ones, didn't want to return for this one for I don't really know why, unknown reasons, I guess. So she wasn't in it, but Courtney Cox, who played Gail Weathers, returned, and then also whatever that actress was who played Kirby as well. So the ending, as all Scream movies are, was a twist. It was a twist. Unfortunately, my co-host here, Ethan, did not understand the twist because he didn't see any of the Screams in the previous Scream in particular, where the boyfriend, I forget his name off the top of my head, I think it's Ralph or something like that, he was killed, and then his family, well, spoilers, unfortunately, spoiler cast, we probably should have prefaced that beforehand, but spoilers, the boyfriend was killed in the previous Scream movie, and in this one, his family went after the group here, the surviving group, and I don't know, I thought it was a cool twist, but again, that was just because I had seen the previous movies. To a first-time viewer, that may have been a little bit confusing, but
they did give kind of a good job swapping back, characters that possibly could have been the killer.
Yeah, we were
been.
confused.
But at the same time, it was very obvious the whole time.
Yeah. For one in particular.
Yeah,
though.
it was, what was his name? Ethan?
I don't remember his name.
His fake name was Ethan, right?
Yeah, actually, you're right. It was Ethan.
We have the cast.
We do have the cast up, but I don't know if this is showing.
Ethan
yeah,
Landry.
Ethan. No, yeah, you're right. Ethan Landry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Ethan. We were watching, and we were like, oh no, this guy's really weird because he was kind of like the quiet background character.
Yeah.
But it also felt like he had something to do with it, and we were right on that one. But we didn't actually see what that girl was. What was that girl?
The friend.
Yeah, Quinn. I think right. Quinn was like the house owner. We don't have it in front of us. Or actually, wait, hold on. This might be it. Quinn. Yeah, Quinn Bailey. We didn't see coming because she had died in the movie, but I guess it was just a fake body or something like that.
Yep.
So that was interesting, and then
that was a little weird. That didn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
It's horror movie tropes,
That was a really low point for the movie.
I don't know.
It just didn't make any sense.
It was a horror trope, and then obviously the I guess the main villain in this case was that cop. I don't even remember his name. Is it even on the? It's not even on the main cast list here. Let me see. Is it this guy? Yeah, Wayne Bailey. Wayne Bailey was the cop character, I guess, who ended up being the main villain also. But what's good about this Scream movie in particular was that the beginning was pretty different from the particular Scream, from the usual Scream movies. Well, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about, because this whole movie was kind of like different from particular Scream movies, where most of them were kind of taking place in the suburbs, urban areas. This was more taking place in like a city, in New York City in particular, yeah. So we had like subways and large crowds of people, and I think this movie in particular did a good job of showing how like it would be like if you were in this situation, you would be like, oh, I should move to a city because there's a ton of people, I'd be safe. But
it shows that you're not safe in a city.
You're not safe. Like there's so many people that the killer can still sneak through, even when they're in the compared to the suburb area when there's nobody, it can still sneak through. Like it doesn't, the killer can be anywhere, and with more people, it makes it more like an obstacle to see who's the actual killer.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that it was kind of confusing at some points, and for a first-time watcher of the Scream series and of Scream 6, I feel like they were a little messy with some of the things in the movie. I can't remember specifics, but
background information.
It was a good, solid, watchable horror movie, but I really don't think it compares to any of the greats. And I'm really I'm not a horror movie watcher myself. Like I haven't really watched any horror movies, but this was a little blank when it came to the screenplay.
Yeah.
And it was just very
thin.
It was very thin, and it just some of the stuff just did not make any sense. And let's talk about the characters getting stabbed like 20 times. And
that was there were some brutal kills.
That's what I'm saying.
That
some of the characters, they just there's this guy in the movie named Chad.
Chad.
So I bet the guy named Chad. So he ends up like
MVP. Yeah, MVP.
He was putting up a good fight or whatever.
He was good. Yeah.
He got stabbed like through the
4 times.
Four
that was like the whole gimmick, I think, right? When he put up his hands, it was like 4 or something, not 5.
Yeah. And like,
I actually don't know if that was a gimmick.
It looked like he got
he died. Like he went down.
And then of course.
He's like in the hospital bed. He's like, I'm still alive. I still made it.
I think the worst one was Reed.
Reed?
Reed, wasn't it? Yeah, Kirby.
Reed?
Kirby.
Oh,
Reed.
Kirby Reed. Oh, God. Like, Reed? Who's Reed? Oh, yeah, dude, she got, like, stabbed, shot, like, twice, and still made it out.
She still stayed alive, so
Yeah, no,
she's a survivor.
Some of the kills were a little, like, exaggerated, which I think all Scream movies kind of do. Mostly horror movies do, you know, because we watch, like, Friday the 13th, someone gets stabbed, like, through their whole face.
I've never actually seen that.
You ever seen Friday the 13th?
No, never seen Friday the 13th.
First time viewer of everything, this guy. Yeah, no.
I know.
Have you not seen any horror movies?
I have seen a couple horror movies. I can't remember any specifics, but I saw the Annabelle movies. A couple.
Oh, okay. Okay.
of them.
Those are like
aren't
good.
really, like horror ones though. They're like.
Well, they're like scary. They have some
Yeah,
jump scares in them.
yeah.
I think this would be like more like thriller. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah, no.
because this was more like the horror was in the gore, not necessarily
Yeah.
like jump scares or anything. You
I'm
know.
not really into the gore type movies.
Yeah. This one in
Sometimes a little
particular was
much
kind of
for me.
gross.
I like Quentin Tarantino gore movies because I know every single one of his movies is kind of really gory.
Supposed to be gory. Yeah, it was intended to.
And it's obviously over exaggerated, which makes
Yeah,
it funny
right.
in a comedy aspect. But this, I feel like with some horror movies, it's just a little much.
Yeah, like some guy got like at the end, the guy got like stabbed in the eye and stuff. That was brutal.
It's brutal, yeah.
And then in the beginning, like the girl got like stabbed in the top of her head.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was
So, some of this stuff was a bit brutal. Was a bit much.
over exaggerated, as in, oh wow.
My bad. we both hit the thing at the same time.
But as in every other horror movie, everything's over exaggerated.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely kept us guessing. We were definitely kind of running around thinking like,
Yeah.
we have no clue who the villain. We kept being like, it's the boyfriend. No, it's the other girl.
We did guess a lot of things.
We did guess. We did guess.
which is kind of sloppy.
We guessed the connection between the guy, the kid, the curly, or Ethan, and the cop as like father and son.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, obviously they already announced that Quinn, who was the girl killer, and the cop guy. This is an awful way to explain it, but they were already confirmed to be daughter and father. But yeah, the other guy, Ethan, was definitely a curveball, but we guessed it.
I'm still thinking about the fake body thing. That did not make any sense. The writers
I don't know.
of Scream 6 should be ashamed of themselves.
We're going there. We're going there. Okay,
That was
we're
bad.
going there. You heard it here,
Because
folks.
it looked, from the scene, I don't know how to describe it, but like, there was a scene where it was a direct shot from the boyfriend of the main character's window.
Yeah, does he have
And
his name in here?
The
Danny,
yeah.
Danny was watching
So
from the window.
Quinn was like laying on her bed. She was on her phone talking to somebody, and then the ghost face was like right behind her, and then you just hear like screams, and then her body just comes flying out of the room, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like she's dead.
She's
And then-
done for,
And then
but
she just comes back. It doesn't make any really
it was,
connection.
you know,
to
it was
anything.
just a corny horror movie stuff, I
But
guess.
even
But
that's like criminally bad. Like that's like
whatever. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I
I don't
thought the
know.
whole thing with the shrine was kind of cool. Like
yeah, no, that was
this
cool.
character was collecting every relic from every previous Scream movie. I mean, obviously, that must have cost insane amounts of money, but it was pretty cool to see like the knives and like the different masks and stuff that Billy Loomis, which was a previous killer, Billy Loomis's actor Skeet Ulrich played the character in like a vision sequence with one of the main characters. If you don't know, the whole thing is like the main two girl characters are the daughters of Billy Loomis, who was the first killer in the first Scream movie. So that was kind of cool. I liked how they continued with that. That was introduced in the, what was it, Scream 5, I think it was, when these characters were introduced. So that was pretty cool to see him return once again. And then the main character, Sam, was able to use Billy Loomis's Ghostface outfit to kill to kill the Ghostface of this movie. I don't know. It's all convoluted. If you haven't seen it, then you probably don't know what we're talking about at all. But regardless, it was pretty solid. So final ratings before we kind of close this out. Ethan, what are you thinking? Give it a critical rating.
I'm giving it.
You take a screenwriting class. Give it a critical rating.
I'm giving it a 5.5.
5.5. Oh, we're going points here. We're going decimal points.
We're going points.
Okay.
I give it a 5.5.
5.5.
It was watchable, and it was a horror movie. It's a Scream movie. They're all basically the same. This one was a little different, like you said.
Yeah.
I think, because after the movie, I did look up a couple clips from the previous movies. Oh, we did it again.
We did it again.
Woo! But yeah, no, I give it a 5.5. It was watchable, but I didn't really enjoy it.
It's valid.
From-
It's valid.
from watching it, too many
Too
just
much gore and stuff like that. Just
messy
too much.
errors in the story. I think it was a little thin.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it did make. We have the stats up here.
We do have the stats.
It did make about $170 million. So
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Um,
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good payout.
Yeah. So you know,
Definitely was successful, but
people liked it. People enjoyed it, I guess. But
Yeah, yeah.
Personally, me, I didn't like it.
not a fan.
Nope.
For me, I know I said my rating earlier in this segment,
They
but
don't remember.
for me, it's probably like a 6 out of 10. I'm fine with going 6 out of 10. I like the Scream movies because I like the franchise in general. I kind of wish that Sidney Prescott returned for this one, but I guess Nev Campbell wasn't really interested in playing the role again, unfortunately. And I also think that Dewey, David Arquette's character, was kind of missing. I know he died in the 5th one. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Scream 5. He dies in the 5th one. But I don't know. I feel like, we kind of missed that Dewey feel for all Scream fans out there. If any Scream fans are watching. Yeah, David Arquette was definitely missing. But otherwise, it was pretty solid. I mean, I think they're definitely going to make another one, I'd say.
Scream 7.
Scream 7 coming soon, I guess.
Just like the Michael Myers movies. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of those, but I know there's like 20 of them.
I love Michael
There's
Myers.
the
I love
Michael
Halloween
Myers
movies.
is Freddy versus Jason versus Michael. I mean, it just keeps going.
It just keeps
on.
going on and on.
It's brutal.
Hey, they're making money. That's what it's
But
all about.
I watched those. They were garbage.
Nah, people watch those. Anyways, we're gonna close this out because we've been talking enough about Scream 6. But overall, Ethan, you're a 5.5.
5.5.
5.5 out of 10. Me, I'm a 6 out of 10. And yeah, we're gonna take you guys to the album of the week segment next. So stay tuned.
Thank you so much, and
See ya. Welcome to our next weekly segment of this podcast. If you didn't watch before, we just did a review of Scream 6. It's part of our movie of the week or movie of the podcast kind of thing that we're going to be doing, all the segments we're going to be doing. This is another segment that we are also going to be doing every week, or at least hopefully every week, which is album of the week or album of the podcast. We got to think of a title. We'll think of a title. We'll think of a
We'll
title.
get there.
And the album we are going to be doing today, we're going to be talking about, is 72 Seasons by Metallica. We're all pretty much all big rock fans over here. So we figured this would be a nice, good one to start with. And this recently came out on April 14th, 2023. It is 77 minutes and 14 seconds long, which is like an hour and 17 minutes. So
she's chunky.
and we listened to this in a week, so it was kind of a lot. So I'm going to pass the mic over to you, and we're going to begin our...
All right, we're talking about Metallica. Let's talk about Metallica. Let's give a little synopsis. All right, so Metallica is a hard rocking band. They started about 1983. They've been going at it a long time. They're a bunch of old geezers, and they're still kicking it. And I guess they proved that with 72 Seasons.
72 Seasons.
Yeah, this is their 11th studio album, so reinforced. They've been pumping, they've been chugging along, even bona fide. Even if their bones are getting a little weak up there.
Yeah.
But we're thinking we might do a little track by track thing here. Talk about our thoughts of each song, and so the first song off of this little thing here, we got 72 Seasons, which is the title track.
Of the album.
Now, does anybody have a general rating to start of this song? Do you think it was mid?
I thought it was mid. Listen,
Okay.
I'm a rock guy. I like rock.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite
Yeah,
genre,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
like it. Metallica,
Gotcha.
they're good. They're classics. They Enter Sandman's. You got your most popular ones.
That's right.
But this album didn't cut it. And you know what? This is the starting title track, like the starting one to get you invested in the album.
Yeah.
For me, didn't do it for me.
I don't think this should have been the title track.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah.
I liked how it opened. It opened with a very kind of chunky. It was like. Da-dun-dun-dun. I will say this about every song overall, and this one at least showed that. It was kind of memorable. It was repetitive, but it was memorable. There was a lot of like classic Metallica-isms. Like there was things that you all know, like the chunky, fast kind of guitar plucking, like the down picking, which that would give me carpal tunnel and probably put me in the hospital. But so that was good. something I'm going to point out about this song is it was very just straight ahead. There
Yes,
was not a
yes.
lot to this song that I was like, damn.
It's very
Right,
like,
right, yeah.
rudimentary.
Yeah, it was.
Basic.
I will agree with you. And something that is carried over from this song to all of them is they do these kind of reprisals where they start with this riff and they always seem to come back to it. Like I feel like with every song across the board, it's like one riff, blah 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 blah, another riff, blah blah blah
Kinda
blah
like
blah,
Solo,
like
and then bring it back to like the
every
original riff.
song.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
song had literally it was like verse, bridge, chorus, solo, which that's
Solo.
fine.
I mean, I thought
Amalgamation of solos.
it
Yeah.
made the whole album seem kind of repetitive.
Yes.
And
Yes,
that's why
yes.
I wouldn't
I
say it
would
was a
too, yeah.
great album, you know.
I will totally agree with you on that one. I
Yeah.
think 72 Seasons clocked in the first song at about 8.5 minutes.
These are long songs.
It's a drag. It's a
Long
little bit of a drag.
songs.
And you felt it.
You absolutely.
You felt it. Like,
Especially in, we're gonna get to it, but
like
in-
absolutely.
in-
I said
Mhm.
in my
Yeah,
notes
whatever.
like too long, felt too long.
Yeah.
yeah.
Songs are a little too long.
And it's like, with albums like this, and there's been a couple, the Smashing Pumpkins released like a double album, and they did this sort of thing. They hype it up, you know, and you think it's going to be this sort of grand album, but it's almost too grand. It gets to just be like too long. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
you know, size does matter sometimes. So, you know, you got to think about that here.
But
So,
I mean, this
you know.
song, like in terms of like the track list, it's
Yeah.
not that huge.
No, no.
So
No.
it shouldn't be
It's only
hard
12
for the
songs.
artist to like
yeah.
choose different sounds for each of the songs.
Yeah.
Right.
However, they did not do
It was
that
pretty much all the same.
very well.
It was
a lot of
up-tempo.
things all the same.
It was a very much an up-tempo. I think what Metallica, I gather, is trying to do is show that while they're geezers and, you know, they're on the path to adult diapers and wheelchairs, that they can still be kind of as fast and up-tempo as their Kill 'Em All.
They're not as
I
young
mean-
as they used to.
I
be.
mean,
No.
they might be in a home, but they can definitely peel the paint off the walls. In that
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, bingo night gets wild with Metallica.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, I'm
That's all I'm gonna say. You know.
I'm sure.
And following up, the next song we're talking about is "Shadows
I
Follow,"
like this one.
which was a good one.
We were following this up, but I actually this was actually one that
Yeah.
I liked. I thought it was actually
Yeah.
alright. I like the beginning with like the drums going, and then you kind of get to the middle. If you watch the the music video, they have like the
Big thing
animation
about
and
this
stuff,
whole
it was pretty
album.
cool,
Like
yeah.
anime visuals.
Yeah.
Anime
Yes.
visuals, yeah.
There was some interesting animations, and it's cool. They contrasted like the kind of anime look with something that's a little more straight ahead, just like cinematography. Like they
Yeah,
did with
yeah.
a couple of the songs, and then like the latter half, they changed up to kind of the anime sort of,
Yeah.
you know, Dragon Ball Z, Metallica, whatever you want to call it, you know. But yeah, I'll agree. Shadows Follow had a cool syncopated pattern in the beginning with the drums and the guitar and the bass.
Yep.
They're all locked in, and yet again though, it followed this kind of pattern. Another thing, this song made me notice something that carried through the whole album, is they'd be very up tempo and then they'd go into halftime. And then they'd go really up tempo and go into halftime. They kind of did it cleverly, but by like the fourth song, considering like this is like as long as the freaking Bible, it gets a little old. Gets a little old, you know. You're kind of like, okay, you've done that. Okay, you've done that. Another thing, this album is mixed very well.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you.
I think this album is mixed incredibly well. Metallica's had a history of some rocky mixes. There's an album called Saint Anger. Don't check it out. It will make you angry. You will flip tables. Tables will be
the
broken.
name serves a meaning.
Albums will be shattered. CDs will be eaten.
Vinyl broken.
Yes, and eaten, blended up, and
Blended
and
up
and drank.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
that bad.
Yeah.
But
what was the like? What were they doing in the studio?
I don't know. They're on
What are
crack.
you doing
They were-
in the
they were
studio?
Which they were on
They're
crack.
doing-
That bad.
Yeah, they were
Drummer
doing
Lars Ulrich, he had some crack problems. You know, too much crack.
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Too much crack.
You seen him doped up?
He's a crack.
That's a show.
That's the best music.
That is-
It's
That's
cracked
a
up.
show.
The best
Cracked
music
up
is
music.
cracked up. Cracked up.
And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think 72 Seasons was cracked up.
I don't think it was
No,
that
I
cracked
I
up.
don't know if it was
And we're
cracked up. I don't know if
and
it was cracked up.
I think it was something that was kind of the album. It was like a meandering album. Like I feel like you could put it on the background and it's okay. It's okay. But if like you're in for a serious listen, I don't think this is the album for you. For a
Yeah, yeah.
serious listen, as a serious Metallica fan myself, not good. I don't think it was that good.
I'm a casual Metallica fan. I wasn't
Casual.
really crazy
Now,
about it either.
we had another song. Next one was "Screaming Suicide." Was the
What
next
title?
song.
Bold title.
Bold title. Seems very personal
Yeah.
to James Hetfield, lead singer. Personally, yet again, it was just kind of a
Missing
form.
something.
It was a formula thing.
Yeah.
I feel like this song though had the most vocal emotion out of all the songs leading up to it.
Yes, without a doubt.
I thought
Absolutely agree.
there was a lot of cool kind of growly moments. I mean, you gotta think this guy, lead singer, he's like 59. He's pushing
getting up there,
Dingle, bro. He's pushing it.
I mean, Steven Tyler, he's
Yes, of
He's-
Aerosmith.
Yeah, Aerosmith.
so old, but he can.
He's crazy.
Belt.
He's crazy still.
He's
Yeah.
got his time.
He's crazy.
Still,
It's the
he's
tight
still
pants.
ripping.
It's the tight pants, guys.
It
I'm telling
really
you.
is.
I'm
It
telling
really
you, the
is.
tighter the pants, the higher you go.
Yeah.
Clothespins, I recommend that too. You want to hit those extra high notes. But no, yeah, it was just "Screaming Suicide" was another one of the songs. I see where the message was, because I don't know if you guys watched it on whether it's YouTube or Spotify.
I actually listened to this one on Spotify, so I didn't see the music video.
Okay, so I saw it on YouTube, and there was an interesting thing I'd like to point out about the song, is it had the suicide hotline
Oh.
directly attached to it.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So maybe the song didn't deliver necessarily, but I understand where the
message.
premise
In the
of the
message.
song
Yeah,
was
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to go for. I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that
Yeah.
because something that I definitely should have said earlier, but yet again it's my Alzheimer's, is the fact that, or amnesia, whatever you want to call it, doctors, dementia, demented. I'm demented, but anyways, is the thing is 72 seasons, right? It's called that because 72 seasons are the first 18 years of your life. So
Oh, I
the
didn't know that.
album,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
the album is about the first 18 years of your life. So all the songs kind of track that. Does it miss the mark? Yeah,
Yes, it does.
by a long shot.
That's interesting. Actually.
By a long shot.
I feel like there's better albums about
Mm.
like coming of age than
Metallica.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they're
No, I agree.
coming seriously into age.
They are.
I mean, they're
They
coming. I know we keep referencing them as old people, but these geezers are rocking
That's all they
hard.
got left.
But I hope they took their red and blue pills.
Matrix.
Now there was the next song, which was "Sleepwalk Your Life Away." This clocked in at 7.5 minutes. This was another. It's another long one. This was another long
It was
one.
kind of tough to sit through. I wasn't a fan.
I will say about this one, it was the fourth song on the way through. If you listen to it in order, I hope you are, just like you should watch your Star Wars movies.
Chronological.
That's right. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, when am I going to hear the bass? When is the bass coming in? Because the bass was very much, I mean, it's bottom end. It's heavy metal. That's what bass is for.
Right.
But it had a bass intro, actually. It had a cute little bass intro. Did it deliver anything? Not really, because then all of a sudden they do the da 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 da. That gets old.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and I like to tell you, this song was kind of tribal. There was some cool tom drum parts. This was a song that highlighted the rhythm section a little more. I felt like the rhythm guitar, the bass, and the drums. Lars Ulrich, the drummer for Metallica, gets a lot of hate. He's known as a slacker. He's like Mordecai Rigby, kind of a slacker, But I think he upped his game a little bit. However, the drums were repetitive. After a few songs, I didn't see a lot of changing up of beats. It was a lot of just kind of straight ahead.
Yeah, except for Shadows
Four.
Fall. Like we
I feel like
said,
it was
Shadows
a lot
Fall
of,
I
like,
think was
4/4
probably
stuff,
the
normal
Yes.
common time stuff.
probably the best drum parts in Shadows Fall.
Yeah, I thought there was some
Yeah.
there was some good fills. There was a good
Yeah.
opening, syncopated part.
Very good opening.
And as somebody who plays drums myself, I look out for that. That's what I want to focus in on, is like, what is the rhythm section doing to try to push and pull the parts? Lars, I don't know. I mean, he kind of looks like he recently pushed out a baby, so I don't know how he's going to do with his music. But, yeah, I think, honestly, we don't have to really go track by track, because I'm going to personally skip to a track, and you guys can feel free to take over, that
Go for
I thought was the best was Lux Eterna.
Really?
That song, I thought, was old school Metallica. It was up-tempo, it was fast,
Short
it
song
was,
of the album too.
yeah, it was 3 minutes 30.
3:30.
It was balls to the walls, flying on the bass drum. Lars proved
That's
for that one song and then got absolutely gassed the rest of the album. But you know what? He proved it.
Shame.
They came back. They came
must
back.
have recorded that one in the studio first. For
Yeah, I think that one, the caffeine was peaking.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
It
yeah.
just kind of
sure.
dropped.
The drugs.
It just kind of dropped. Yeah, the drugs. I'm telling you,
Them
man.
stimulants, you know.
That's right. Damn
Get you
stimulants.
good. Get you good.
You know? Yeah, but I thought this song encapsulated everything I loved about Metallica, like an album like Justice for All. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. It's that whole album is very thrashy, and I felt like this song was extremely thrashy metal, which I wanted. I want that heavy steel ball track, and it was this one in my opinion. And yeah,
I enjoyed it.
yeah, and the solo on this one was concise because I felt like a lot of the solos, like, did you feel like he used the wah pedal literally like every solo? It was
Yes.
literally
Like,
just.
that was
I
I feel like,
was like,
I think
oh my
in this
God,
song,
bro.
is this the one that had like the kind of squealy like?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, there's
I
some
like
cool.
the way he
There
did
was some
that,
cool
he did
screeching
that,
parts,
you
but
know?
the thing of this album is everything's good on the first listen, right? Everything's good on that first song, that first listen to that first song, and then you're like, oh my God, they repeated every song.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. And trust me, I'm a huge heavy metal fan. I understand that a lot of people that aren't big into the genre will often say that it all sounds the same. Usually, if you're ignorant to something, you kind of just push it off into an easy category.
Right.
But I feel like with this album, sincerely, it kept just trudging along. Every song, I mean, even Enamorada, last track,
Oh my God.
11
Minutes.
That was probably the hardest song to sit through.
You might as well call this a Pink
I
Floyd
mean,
song.
it had some cool
Oh.
moments on it. I will say it had some cool moments on it.
Yep.
However,
Didn't make up.
far too long.
Here's the thing. Are you talking about when all the instruments dropped, right? And it was just the
Yeah.
bass
Yeah.
underneath?
Yeah.
My only problem with that part is that Lars was the drummer was still just going like it was very washy. That's also something I found about his drum mix. It was good, but I felt like the cymbals were always washy.
Yeah.
There was nothing that was ever
Yeah.
clean sounding, which I get that's part of the metal, but in a part that's mellowed down, I feel like you as a musician, I can't pronounce musician right now. I'm slurring my words. It's like 4,000
It's like
o'clock. I don't know what
4
time it is.
4
Jesus
a.m.
Christ. I think we've gone back in time. We've been up for so
Yeah,
long.
right now.
But
You skipped a day.
we took a leap year.
Yeah, we took a leap year.
Clearly. But yeah,
Listening to this song, I definitely took a leap year because oh my
Jesus
God, I feel like I
Christ.
lost 12 years of my life.
I
listening
lost
to
I
this.
lost 72
Oh, no,
seasons.
that was-
Yeah, God. Oh God. Oh God. Anyway.
Kill me. So yeah, that song in particular emphasizes the entire album as a whole, ladies and gents, and trains and butterflies, whatever you call yourselves out there. That they just need to cut off minutes of this song.
Bad end. Such a bad end.
Like
Especially this being an
Instead
ending song
of-
too.
Instead
Yeah.
of making a 7-minute song that's in 4/4 sounds the same as every other song
let's
on the
make a
album,
minute one.
make a 3-minute one that sounds different from every other song on the album, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe try to put some
I
more
thought Lux
creative
Eterna
force
was the
in
only
it.
one that did that because back to Lux Eterna, talking about that, it gave you a false ending. It stopped,
It
remember,
did.
and it
Yeah,
came back in.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
That
hey,
was kind of cool.
hey,
That's
that's
probably the most unique
it's
thing.
pretty good. Yeah, that was the thing overall.
Yeah.
But okay, if 72 seasons, the title track shouldn't have been the opener.
Yeah.
What should have the opener have been? Do you think? Out of all these.
Well, I'm gonna be ignorant here. I'm gonna say Shadows Follow just because I think that was probably my favorite for sure of this album. I
yeah.
would have said Shadows Follow just again because that's my favorite. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think we all agree that 72 Seasons wasn't the best track to start
No,
with.
it had.
So-
I love the intro. Just that. No.
And
I was like,
also-
okay.
Lux
That was
Eterna.
cool, but
Yeah.
Lux
Uh,
Eterna
yeah.
was like
I
a.
don't know.
I don't know. It was like the short song. It kind of deserves to be like in the middle area.
It was
of
like the
of
only
the
breathing
album.
room.
Yeah, exactly. Breathing
It
room.
was the only breathing room you got on the
So,
whole album. I was
feel
like, Jesus
keeping
Christ.
it where
I
it was fine.
yeah.
But yeah, again, for me, Shadows.
I
Follow,
was
I'd
like
say.
sweating bullets. I felt like I was being suffocated in just blankets on blankets of noise.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
It got to be too much.
I
at
was
that
like,
point,
oh
you
my
know?
God. This album had been hyped for a good year.
Yeah.
And it drops. and I immediately looked before I even listened to this. How long is the album?
Right.
Because that's like a precursor of, okay, these songs are gonna drag. And 77 minutes, that's a long time.
Only 12 songs,
It's
too.
a long
It's a
time.
long time.
You know,
And
that's
they all sound the same,
They
basically.
all
And that's-
sound the same.
right.
It's
rough.
you ain't missing much, folks.
So
I'm just saying, folks.
Save yourself 72
hours.
70.
Save yourself 70.
Did I stutter? No, but
I did stutter.
Save yourself
Holy-
77
Yeah.
minutes by
Yeah.
not listening to 72.
yeah,
Listen,
I'm
by
just
Metallica.
saying, a lot of motifs are repeated. The guitar solos were very repetitive. They used the same kind of chunky, fast, going up and down the scale. It was basically like if ADD was a noise at certain points. If I'm being
That's fair, that's fair.
100% honest, it just, I'm sorry, it
It's just too
going.
much. You know,
Kept going
it's
too much.
too much of the same stuff.
Nate, what did you think would be the best starting track for this album instead of
You
72
have
songs?
Honestly,
You have to choose one.
I really.
It's
couldn't
tough
tell
'cause
you.
they're
all the
I couldn't
same.
tell you.
It's tough because I mean, you could literally cross out the names
And then,
and just bleed it together.
Play it like a blind hearing test.
Yeah,
for all
it
these songs.
was
You're thinking
very
the same thing.
difficult.
Yeah.
It was seriously. There were a couple songs referencing my notes. You know, I'm not all off script here. I'm trying to find one where I found that there was something that stuck out to me, but I think I
All my
most
notes were
covered
like
it.
Everybody got
guitar
lost in the-
solo,
lost in the
cool.
folds.
I got lost on the sauce many
Yeah.
times in this. I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, oh. But I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry, Metallica.
I'm sorry, Metallica.
I'm sorry, Metallica.
They're never gonna come on the podcast.
You know,
So
I'm
it's
seeing you
Sorry,
guys in
Metallica
August
Fans that had to listen to this and decide.
and thought it was good.
Yeah.
Like,
It
that's
was-
That's
wrong.
the real crime
wasn't
here.
good.
You know-
that I had to listen to this. But
You know, it's okay to have your opinion, but just know that
Your opinion's wrong.
your opinion can be wrong, and I will point it out. So that's really the summary of that.
That's our review.
Yeah, I'm
That's all
sorry.
we
Are we
have
giving
to
it a
say.
rating?
Let's give it a rate. Let's go down.
Are we
let's go
gonna
down the
Are we
line.
gonna give it a
Nate, we'll start with
rating?
you on the
Are we
list.
gonna
I'll
give
give
it
it like a 6.
You're gonna give it a ooh, okay, 6.
I was gonna give it a 5, but I thought it was a little better.
Thomas, go for your rating.
I'm gonna give it a hard 4.78.
All right, so it sounds like I dislike this album the most because I was gonna give it a 3.
Wow, a
I was
3.
just driving and listening to it, and I'm like, I got nothing. I got nothing
I
to say.
mean,
So
I think I can respect it for the technicality of it,
Mm.
and that's why I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 5, but I think
See,
it deserved that extra point
yeah.
for that skill.
I agree with the technicality part. I mean, you got to think to yourself. You're like, you know, it's really repetitive. But if I had to pick up a guitar, if you had to pick up a guitar, I know you
yeah,
play guitar.
I play guitar.
How in the hell would you play half these parts? And they're not even
Mm.
that
Dude.
hard.
In the studio for
Just
hours.
full open
You have
strings,
to do
just-
that.
Slamming.
That's what is a testament to these guys and these older bands. Is it's seriously an endurance test.
It
Like,
is an endurance
you
test.
know, these guys are athletes.
Yeah.
These guys
yeah.
are pushing themselves.
Yeah.
These guys are wringing out the
They
sweat
aren't-
of their
they aren't
thighs.
just standing stationary either. A lot of times they have like
They're up and moving.
Stage
Moving
presence, you
around,
know.
Yeah.
You know, there's several musicians that come to mind with that. A huge one you brought up was Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler, he
Flea.
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 The Red Hot Chili Peppers guys. We might
Moves
review.
around. Oh, we definitely will.
They've got some.
When the new albums drop.
They did just drop new albums. They did actually. Crazy enough, they dropped actually 2
2 albums?
for the price of 1. They dropped in the same
Oh.
year.
That's so.
You know, and these guys, they're also pushing the I can't poop on my own age. So it's like, you know,
You're getting
Oh,
up
this one,
there,
Return
you know.
of Dream Candy.
yeah, the Dream
Candy?
and Unlimited Love. There's 2 albums we could possibly review in the future.
Oh, no, that's 2000.
I mean, unless you guys got some like Bad Bunny or I don't know, I don't know what you young kids are listening to now.
No, not Bad Bunny.
You know,
We'll definitely take a look at some future albums.
yeah, and stay tuned, guys, to the future because we might do some blind album listening.
Yeah, we might do some of that.
Definitely
We might
will.
listen to some like individual songs and just like be going through an entire album.
We
That
might-
might be like a long separate thing on.
Yeah, well, that might be a little special time with you folks. You guys can call in,
Definitely.
you know. We'll rip off the Billy Costa morning show. We'll call in, you know. But in all honesty, yeah, this album was just one big note, and that was about it. It was just one. And that it was really just a thud. It was kind of a thud. It was cruddy. It was reused. It was technical, but all of the technicality was reused.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of originality. There was only about 3 songs that I personally liked. I think you guys 1 or 2 really.
Mine was just that Shadows Fall.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
I was struggling.
So, you know, maybe this was a bit of a flip-flop and frap for our first album review, but let's get, you know, the difficult ones out of the way. So, yeah.
We're moving on to the better ones.
Yeah,
so.
that's right.
That
you know?
is, I'm gonna close this out for us here. So that is our album of the week segment for today, for this episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Episode 2 coming soon. Hopefully next week from the time you're watching this. I'm hoping. And yeah, that's really it for this segment. So see you guys.
Pray for us.
Thank you all for watching the first episode of the Lagged podcast. Stay tuned for next week where we are going to be talking about music in episode 2, our favorite artists, favorite bands, what we do regarding music. And yeah, that's really it. Thanks, guys.